All right, I'm back. Just set up my screen so I can see. It don't look like I can see the comments if I'm not signed in, Sean. So that plan ain't gonna work. All right, and I'll just roll it like this. Terrible idea of mine, Sean. The tablet will not show uh, any comments. I'll try one more time. All right. So first thing we're gonna work on is the is this Olympus. Uh, Morning, everybody. Como se va? Hope everybody's doing well. Uh, I'm gonna try to interact the best I can. So the razor we're gonna hone on here today is this Freador. Uh, zoom out a bit if I can. This Freador. Not letting me. 14. Okay. I want to kind of show what the Olympus can do, and I'm started on. I've done it. I've done this before, but I want to hone it with a stainless steel razor. All right. So we're gonna do a reset. Another thing I want to show you the range. We're gonna do a reset on the Olympus off of this 4K, right? There's no reason to do a bevel set because this razor has a bevel, and that's another thing I want to talk about. We don't do a good job of explaining that. Every time we hone, we're always going to the bevel, it seems, on video, but I don't do that. I mean, that's really unnecessary. All you're doing is wasting good steel. A lot of times I start at 6 or 4, whatever my jump point is. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of do a little bit on this hand. All right, I can move my Olympus. I will put a little water and generate a little slurry. Uh, Little unnatural holding position for me because I had to get somewhere where I can have the internet. What's up, Goat? What's up, Rick? What's up, Steve? Alex? Well, this stone, the Olympus, to me, the best way to describe it is if a Escher and a water bear had a baby and it was raised by J-Nat. Yeah, the sharpening makes you forget that you're honing on stainless steel with these rock stars. It's too easy. Nothing like the other sharpening. It's not like honing on gravel road. All right. Oh, Josh is a Vermont slate guy. They ought to name it after him. Well, Luke tells me there's a little bit. Looks pretty good. I just seen a whole yeah. Okay, I see it now. Yep. Wrong DMT. Back with a little slurry. But Rick, I'm not gonna let you have my best articles. And right now I ain't got none of the ones I want to sell. You said for me to sell you my best. It's not working today. Now I feel like I'm really doing something on this edge right here. Really starting to smooth out. This is the loop I use, by the way. 10-file loop. That's my microscope. And I'm very particular with it. Microscopes are very nice. They're good tools. They are. But I mean, it's not really something that's necessary in my process. May the fourth be with you, Rob. You see, we have the evil dark side in the shadow. All right, I'm gonna rinse this off. See if what I seen was gone, and then we'll go to Olympus. Dang, that stone is so fast and so fine. All right, I like it. We're good. You want to see some scope pictures? There you go. That's as far as it gets in Cajun blade. All right, you rinse this off. test kits, and there's a starter show. So what are we doing today? So the whole plan what I got today, I want to show the range of this stone. Basically, what I found with this stone, you can take it all the way up to Black Arkansas, and you can provide a good edge. But does this stone need it? In my opinion, don't. This is one of the best standalone stones I've ever put my hands on. And this is not a paid promotion. I don't get nothing for it. I was lucky enough to test one, and I recommend the people they test them. Yeah, it's shown from the dark side. I'm still on the good side of raw. But anyway, other guys have verified with what I found. So I've been treating it like a JNAT, coming off of 4K and going straight to Slurry. It's a fast home, believe it or not. I think when I started doing this, Michael, a guy who sells them, I don't think he had tried this because he was surprised at the range as well. This is a big hunk of Olympus. I'll have this with for a long time. I'm making this Slurry with 1200 Atoma. And what we're gonna do, I also have a stone from my buddy Darcy, one of the Lunes, only for good razors, which I've heard people ask if this was the same stone, which it's not. And I'm lucky enough to have one. Is took head up compare. I tried and I don't think I can come off 4K and get a finished edge with it, but we're gonna compare them later in a shade. So how I hold this, usually a couple rounds of slurry until I feel the edge really want to start mating with the Olympus. Basically, uh, I really don't know how to compare it to anything else. But I'm looking for it to get that sticky stage, like if I was honing a J9 on water. And once it does that, I'll move on to water. I can't do running water here, which I normally do. Uh, then I do soap. See, at this stage, because my razor is not brought up past 4K, I can really feel the Olympus grabbing and doing some work. So when you take it from 10K, you don't quite feel it. So I did some half strokes first to get some work done, and now I'm gonna slow it down. Like I said, at this stage, I can feel the Olympus really, really. No, I don't always use tape. I use tape on a problem razor if I don't want to do a bunch of geometry correction. And I've used tape on razors that needed adjustment for bevel angle. Uh, but I don't use tape just to use tape. There's always a reason. See, that's just there's no particular reason I hone this way. I mean, you could very well be doing this kind of stroke here, but just my natural stroke is a rolling stroke where I put see the toe is off the razor, off the stone, and I roll it. And I do that whether I have a problem razor or not. It's just my normal stroke. So a lot of times the razor may give somebody else trouble, doesn't give me much. So what I'm feeling right now, this side on the way back, I got work to do on it, which is the same spot that I had the little bobo that I pulled out with the 4K. So I'm gonna stay on this slurry till I can feel all of that smooth out. Now we feel better right there. Okay. On my half strokes, whatever I put one way, I put the other. There's no magic. I'm doing it till I can feel that it smooths out, which it just has. Speaking of Daiquiri Shack, I'll be making soap tomorrow. I got one thing left I'm waiting on to do soap and drum roll, please. What else we doing, Sean? Sean or Rob, you want to break the news to everybody? A splash. And Josh, the splash, I was able to acquire some goat milk, so we'll have just a dash of goat milk in the splash too. I wasn't forgetting about you. Goat milk doesn't get the respect it deserves, Josh. See, you trying to tell me it's Billy goat milk? That's kind of disgusting. The first soap I gave Sean was from bull milk. All right, that that slurry has petered out. Okay, and I want you to know, my granddaughter is so strong. She just got here with my daughter, and she don't like me doing this live. She wants me to give her all the attention. Okay, I'm gonna go with tomos slurry. This is a Olympus tomo. My fault behind tomos are all the time. If I start on a DMT slurry, I like to finish on a tomo slurry, any tomo slurry, because my DMT is 1200, and by knocking all that down, I think I'm going. I mean, who knows how fine it is, right? The surface prep. So it definitely changes from one slurry to the next. Michael uses a 3000 DMT. Uh, I like to think that going from 1200 to this tomo, I'm probably at least 3000 by the time I get everything smooth. Because you can literally, on a hard tomo, it's like a hard J-nut. You can feel that it slick up under the tomo. Just got to be patient. That's one thing with tomo. It takes more patience. What's up, Tom? You missed it. We were milking Billy goats a while ago. Dude, I ain't used a 12K since I first started. It's been a while. It would be hard for me to ever recommend a 12K Super Song to somebody with the 10K products that they currently have on the market. Between the Errata, which is the same as the Chosera, but way cheaper, right? And then the Koseki, and then the oh shit, Rockstar 10K. I mean, and I own all of them, and I'm including the 12K, and there's no comparison how much user friendly they are, better shave, and I think all three are keener than the 12K. and you don't have to risk that famous micro burr from a 12K if you go more than about 6 strokes on the stone. Yeah, my best 12K I ever had was a Rockstar 10K. You know what I did not do before we get too far along? I should have checked it on a peanut because that was my whole reason to here to show what it can do. Let's look at it right here. All falling in easy. Is that a good angle for y'all to see? Try this way. If I can do this without cutting my finger. All right. Definitely more noise than we would ever finish with. Same thing here, back to rolling pressure. Every now and then I get me some on the heel. That noise you hear, I am honing without tape. So appreciate all y'all guys joining me too, man. It's I had to do some honing. I've been me and Sean been talking. I wanted to do a live, and I had never done one successfully because of my internet in my shop. So I decided today, while I honed up these razors, I will go ahead and get it done. And I wanted to hone my Olympus more on camera, but I had loaned it out, and it's loaned out again. And I just got my larger one in that I purchased from Michael, which I sure appreciate him looking and testing and getting me exactly what I want to add. I told him I want a big stone, big beefy stone. Told him I like a copa size, which is this, basically a 6x3 plus, something thick. And he worked his magic and found one. I never gave the little blue pill to my stones, but I bet it would work getting harder. Don't blame me up at Griffin. Welcome, Devin. Actually, I put in a mini split about 3 or 4 days ago in my shop. Man, it's going to save a lot of money compared to that 2-ton window unit I had in there. So, I mean, it ain't pulling, but running like a little over 6 amps. A significant change from window unit. So right now, as I'm talking, when I'm talking to Devin, I felt a change, a significant change. So I'm gonna not hone no more. I'm gonna leave it wet like this. And I'm gonna check the peanut if anything changed. All right. Look at that. Cloud territory. Very little noise. So while I'm talking, just like the blue, that's why it's important. Don't be counting. You'll trust your feel. I felt the change. Right. At that point, I think that I'm in a situation where I'm gonna go to water and I'm gonna flood it. Man, that's the kind of stuff that gets me so excited about homing. When you feel those little differences, when you can yeah, I agree with you, Neiman. I think that I've tried, and I'm a politely but impolitely called. They've got some gimmick stones on the market that claim, and they're good stones, but they claim way more than they can do. You know, one thing I like about this stone, I never heard Michael make a claim. He called me or texted me, told me what he about his stone. I had been seeing it, and asked me if I wanted to test it and let the stone speak for it, right? And I know part of it was because I had a YouTube channel and I could, get it out. But he said he trusted my opinion on natural stones because I don't bash them. I know even the ones I don't really care for, some they got their place, you know, and it may not be as a finisher. So I'm gonna have to go so far already. Well, no, we're gonna go to we're gonna go to do I have it closed? Yeah, I'm gonna go to OLR. Uh, anyway, as for newcomers to the market, you know, I wasn't a fan of the Indonesian stone. It felt like home on a gravel road. It felt like a shaft and you had lapped with a A grit. Is what it felt like. Uh, the same thing with the deep ocean jasper. The shadows, which no hate here, don't mean it's my opinion. Everybody has their own opinion. I was not impressed with either shadow at all. I thought that all the shadows do is they basically burnish a synthetic edge. You know, that's all I felt out of it. But this stone right here, uh, as a new coming stone to the market, it's very impressive. Those Indonesian stones are not as good as a level three. That's a nice stone, is what that is. I had one for a month and tried it every different way. Uh, that's probably the worst of the new stones that I've tried. But if it was sold as a kitchen knife stone, I would think with about half the price, I think it'd be worth a buy. I just don't think it's a razor stone. Checking my loop, see if I can make sure all of the 4K scratches are gone and the Olympus edge under the mic under a loop doesn't look like a JNAT. It looks more like an Escher. I guess if you know what I'm talking about, it's not quite consuming, but it has a little more bling than a consuming. I guess I should say. Okay, so the edge right now is a dead mirror polish, closer. Like I said, more bling than a consuming. It is. I would say I don't have it on scope, but on my loop, it's at least 12K right now. It's as much as a 12, 10K will give you. And that's off of this 4K work, the little bit of work I did. I'm talking about dead mirror. I'm not in the light where the light can affect me. I'd like to get see this edge under JPO or well, I guess I could look at my microscope if all I want to do is look at the apex. I guess I never should. I have a microscope, but I mean, I got one of the regular microscopes and everybody else got it. Ain't worth a crap for nothing other than inspecting the apex. I mean, excuse me, a bevel, not apex. But let me do that after this. Look at it on my microscope and see. What stone you talking about, Tom? The Nicaragua, what the Indonesian stone, whatever they call it. I can't remember the name of it. Yeah. You know what I found funny? Gabriel was selling the stones, and then the miner was offering to sell these stones for half the price. That's not too good a business model to have your miner undercutting you like that. Hear that nice sound? Your R, for those of y'all just listening, this is O and R I'm using. I generally use soapy water on slate-ish type stones, but no, I didn't. To be honest with you, I don't have none close to my hand right now. All in all, works good though. Let's look at this. Should we dry it off? I think that is done, to be honest with y'all, but I'm not gonna stop there. I'm doing a comparison, so I'm gonna do a few more laps here, then I'll put it up. I think everything else can be done with a really sharpen. Yeah, he told me the same thing. He come down on price and he wanted a couple $100 to ship it. And then before the conversation was over, he was begging me and he was gonna ship it for $60. I said, look, dude, I'm not interested. Thank you anyway. And I'm glad I didn't. I had a friend come through and he let me borrow the stone to test it. Because now I would be afraid that if I would have bought it, I couldn't have done nothing with it. Because I couldn't have sold it to somebody with a clear conscience as a razor stone. And I couldn't have cut it up and used it for tomo like I would have gained at that. It may not quite be a finishing stone. Man, this edge is just smooth out like glass. Beautiful under the loop. My holy trinity of stones would have to be this. My synthetics. My one, two, and four as my number one. Because that I have to have those to be efficient. That is my bread and butter of every home I do. Number two, my conical, because I like the better one stone home and it gives such a comfortable shave. Number three is my J9s. This stone here is new to me. So I'm not going to make a claim and say it's the best stone I have. But I can tell you this, it's pushing for the top three. It is pushing, right? I have a feeling as I run my races through them and as I get experience with this stone, it's going to be a contender for the top. But as of right now, the synthetics. I've had people say, oh, Eric, you don't like synthetics. That is such bullshit. Synthetics are the backbone of every good horn. You got to better use them. They are. There's no more valuable tool in our box. And then after that, my finishing stones. That's just the way I look at it. You don't have to look at it that way. You can hate synthetics. I don't care. I don't care if you like them, love them, hate them. But just know that's how I feel about them. So here's your Olympus home. This is going to be the last I home with today. I finished one razor on it as we're making a comparison. Okay, that was a stainless steel razor, reset on 4K, and then home on this to perfection. I will see one shade. Uh, I would say at least 40 millimeters, yeah. Okay. Okay. That's the next stone in question, but we're not going to use it right now. I am going to go back to the 4K, the razor I'm using, because I want to give the Olympus a disadvantage. I'm going to use a carbon razor. This still has Adam's edge on it. It's a good 7/8. It's a Japanese steel razor. It's a junter, beautiful razor, big heavy razor. So we're going to reset this on on 4K. I'm not quite sure if Adam homes on tape or not. I think he's kind of like me. He homes depending on what razor he got. Uh, But so I'm gonna go ahead and reset this one. Let's go ahead and dull it. That's nothing but what you call that, surface tricks, because you really don't need to have to dull it. You're just doing it. Somebody jumps in and says that razor was already on. So how many laps am I doing right here? I don't know. I'm watching this swarth, and I want to get good swarth where it's coming from the edge. I know I got in it, and whatever many laps I do, see that was like on 18. I'm gonna make sure and match that on the other side. Okay. That's basically the only two strokes I use now. When I started convex honing, which this isn't convex today, I got away from circles. Uh, there's nothing wrong with them. I just got out of the habit of using them, right? Well, I agree with you, Bill. I go off a feel and go off my vision, but I want to, when I'm doing half strokes, I like to have the same amount going both ways. So, and even though it's unnecessary when I'm holding on convex, I still roll pressure. I still lift and roll pressure because the stone's doing it for you, right? But it's just a habit that's hard to get out of. Yeah, Tom, I was telling Sean about that. I don't hone knives like y'all do. Not that I disagree. I'm probably the one that's wrong. But I hone knives how my grandpa taught me. I do hone similar to y'all when I'm trying to pull a burr. But once I get the more burr pulled, most of my honing is just like I hone a razor, which is rolling pressure like that with the stone in my hand, whether it be a big stone or a small stone. That's just how I do it. And I never use paper to test an edge. Matter of fact, you taught me something when you were saying the other day how it's hard to cut uh, toilet paper. So I always use skin, shaving off the head, just like a razor. I take my knife off the skin and pop in here. So just the other day when I was sharpening some knives, I did the paper towel and it cut good. So that was my first official knife sharpening Olympics exercise. But it's just not something I have done. But it works for me. All right. This thing here is a lot less work on these Shapton glass stones than a stainless steel razor. That right there, that been done. I was just making some laps, enjoying it. So now I'm gonna wipe the water off. I'm gonna look at my 10K. Okay, got a good cut. Heel the toe. No. Oh yeah, eyes. And now we're gonna remember the old bill trick. Look at that. I thought it was almost cloud. Like I said, this ain't stainless steel razor. Come off the stone. Popping hairs like it's mad at the world. I like it. Was that a 6 or a 4K? Oh, that's a 4K. I had to make sure. Bitches. Team. Okay. Let me get some synthetic juices off my DMT. This is Lune from Knit at One Stone. Normally not products I shop. This is his newest one, which is called Only for Good Razors. It's a vintage. This is supposed to be, Sean, can you remember? I know that Nick changes his grit ratings on his stones about every other week. Do you remember what he rated this one for lately? Seems like every time he gets a new stone out, when he gets bored, they change what the grit they're rating on his naturals, which is unnecessary to me anyway. So this stone doesn't have near the bite as the Olympus. but it's a good feeling stone. This is not a slate. He lists this as a shell, which I think that the Olympus is also a shell. It's cutting though. I can feel it cutting. A different tactile feel. So if anybody ever says the Olympus is basically, it looks like this, it does. It has a lot of look to it till you get close to it or put a loop on it. But really close enough wet by eye, you can see the Olympus is a completely different stone. But this stone here, mud's a little lighter than Olympus, and the tactile feeling of the stone coming off a 12K, a 1200 GMT feels completely different. Yeah, I know. I think I had some screenshots I showed you. I remember when he was changing up the grit ratings of his stones between the black and the green and the purple. So who knows what they truly rated for. And to be honest with you, I don't even know what a match was rated for. I just think it's comical when vendors start putting that number on there. So it's starting to feel really nice. I'm gonna use two hands a bit because my hands starting to fall asleep. But I do have lined up. I'm getting my hand fixed in August. So excited. I'm ready. Take the outpatient surgery, do that, let that heal, and then work on my nerves and elbows later on at a later date. Yeah, the Lune ain't bad. Stone's great. I'm just not a big fan. I mean, excuse me, uh, Josh. I'm just not a big fan of the seller. You know, I had some. He sold me a toxic Lune once that was cut incorrectly. So I kind of, in my dealings with him, kind of made me to a situation where I'd rather never deal with him again. Not man, I'm talking about the guy who actually manufactures the shadows and the lunes. Okay, I'll check yes. So I don't think we went backwards from the 4K, even though the 4K was kind of looked more like I come fell in the cloud. Uh, but I will check and look at the. So this stone has not got rid of 4K scratches. So as I suspected, it can't cut like the oh shit, the Olympus. Okay. And as I stated, we are currently on a carbon razor, and I tested or honed the aluminum. Nah, shit, the Olympus. I used a stainless razor, which that doesn't mean this stone is not a great stone. It just probably means I should have come off of 8 or 10K with it, right? And I was kind of doing this to compare uh, a slate with range, supposedly, or the shell with range to the Olympus. Yeah, I got up at 3 o'clock this morning. I'm gonna use a little more pressure. Try to see if I can get rid of those scratch patterns in that 4K. You didn't go yours, huh? My wife and them are in Destin right now. I think in Destin. They live in Gulf Shores. I know they went to the beach. That's sad. All right, I'm starting to see some smoothing, or feel some smoothing, I should say. A little change in pitch. What you holding on today, Sean? Some more changes. I thought you don't do home videos no more, Sean. All right. A little bit better. All right. Now, the 4K scratches are going. The little bit of change in pressure I did helped me get rid of that. No adverse effects in the pressure, no burn, nothing. So no more slurry. I'm gonna go water and then go in on. I'm gonna still use a little. Almost looks like this pressure is kicking up some particulate. So did y'all hear the peanut on the toe? It wasn't quite where the rest was. We'll do some pressure isolation. I know people say that's not good, but I do it. Sometimes if I wonder, I do it just because people say not to do it. So all I'm doing right now is preparing it for my oil or soap phase. I know I got my scratches done. My refinement is better for my peanut. All right. Only place that I felt it was lacking was the heel. So I'm gonna do a few little heel exercise. Talking about skew angle. My angle's always skewed up. All right. We need to get rid of what slurry was left on here. I'll wash my razor off and get a fresh rag. and a little Smurf juice. I have not honed on spotted crow, Rick. I have had it suggested to me numerous times in my videos, but I've never have tried it. So why am I using a lubricant? It helps me manage pressure. That's basically it. And it lifts particulate, right? So I don't have to use running water to float. And it has some lubricity which reduces friction. I need to tell me if I'm going to adjust and go forward. What you holding on today, Greg? Anything? This is not my stone, by the way. This is was lent to me by a friend. All right. Okay, we got what I consider a sleek looking edge. It's considerably more consuming looking than the edge on the on the shit. Excuse me, shell edge. The edge on the Olympus was considerably brighter, similar to like a Lune or like a almost like a synthetic, but you can see some granularity in it. This here coming off this stone is more like a Kasumi. So let's do a little testing. So we cloud there just a little more. A little more noise than I'd like to hear. Oh, you're doing a live in the Mystery Stone? That'd be awesome. What's up, Sean G? I thought you bandits had kidnapped you over there in Oklahoma. Is it me or this stone is shedding? Yeah, I don't like that. This may be a stone that requires a flood of water. Yeah, it definitely was shedding slurry on the O and with O and R with the whole thing. There may be a stone that's better suited to hone on running water. Now it's starting to smooth out. Oh yeah. My granddaughter's trying to get in the door. All right, let's shake that. Oh yeah. All right, yeah, call that good. See. All right, that's it on this one. It's ready for the strop. Put it to the side with the Freador. Last stone on the home today. It's not a comparison. Just a buddy of mine, Darcy, who owned his excuse me, he sent me a razor to he had some scale pin issues, right? And asked if he wanted it honed on anything. He said, "Yeah, hone on your best calico," which sounds like a challenge. Huh? So I honed it on a dilution twice, and I did not like it. I used some of my best stones. It's a stainless steel razor. And then I said, you know what? I texted him. I said, when I do a dollar cut on a stainless steel razor, I come off a bevel set, and that's what I'm doing. It won't be a full dollar cut, but I mean, I'm gonna go from 2K, then 4K, and then jump on Slurry, and that's what I did. So I honed up on Slurry on my 2x8 vintage LPB, and then I wanted to use this stone here on oil because I never have, right? It's a La Viennette I got from Griffin Shave Goods. And this was all you're gonna be seeing here is the final work I do on this on oil. And it'll be a new experience uh, for for me on this stone, and you better catch it live. Something I don't normally do, which is home green on something I've never tried on camera because I'm too opinionated and I don't want to say things I regret. I'd rather think if I don't like something, I'd rather rephrase it in a more polite manner if I can. Sometimes I can't. Because you know what? Just because something don't work for me, a stone won't work for me, or the razor don't work for me, or I don't like to shave off a seller's razor, that don't mean I'm right, right? I mean, I could have done something wrong. So I don't like to. I like to let it marinate a while before I make past judgment. This is the cheapest baby oil you can find at a dollar store. It don't have no smell to it, and it's thin for mineral oil. And I have added some oud oil to it, a trick that I heard. I think it was Greg Gallant do it, and it is so addictive. It's part of the reason why I like honing oil so much is the aroma. Greg, you're not a good influence, or you are one or two. Eric, if someone is new and has synthetic set, how would you recommend them on a conical? Well, I know why you asked me this because this is something that I've discussed with you recently, and my opinion has changed. I used to try to preach the good word of a conical, but there's so much negativity out there for people who don't know what they're talking about. It seems like people don't listen to the people who have good results on conicals and like to shave. They only listen to people who tell them they can't. So I haven't given up, but my recommendation is hone up to 8K or 12K and bypass slurry, bypass water, hone it on oil. Because I think a really good way to start somebody honing on naturals is to go synthetic regression to Arkansas. And after testing, me and Sean both, we both agreed that you can achieve the same thing with a conical if you treat it like an Arkansas and do it on oil. Because the problem with introducing slurry when you don't know what you're doing, and you're reaching out to people who don't know what they're doing and don't understand that everything is about pressure management and dilution management. All it's going to do is create frustration. So my current recommendation on people starting with conicals is synthetic progression and then swap the conical oil. Treat it like it's an Arkansas, and you'll have fabulous results. That's what my test had told me. And yes, it's frustrating. But you know what? There's nothing we can do about that. It's human instinct. They're gonna, they're gonna take a guy who can't get success on a conical and then try to mimic him. No, don't never understood that. Okay, starting to see some spark here, which is good. That's what I want to see. That means I know this thing is imprinting, doing some cutting. I'm not using much pressure at all, just engaging the apex with torque. Oh, I do agree with you, Greg. Absolutely. But the problem is that probably should, in my opinion, should come second because the people I have dealt with, the negative influences is what they listen to and not sound advice. So it, it, I'm far from giving up of helping people with dollar cost, but I would suggest that a new guy, that somebody who's just starting honing, a man who's been honing for 5 years should know pressure management at this point. But I guess there's those two. But somebody who's just so you're good. Can y'all hear what I'm saying? Or you can't hear? Don't disagree with you, Greg. I guess you've had the fortune to be helping people with more sense than I have. What changed pressure management for me was JNAS. Started on synthetics like everybody else, but I didn't know what I was doing until I started dealing with JNAS and feeling slurry breakdown. JNAT is a good tool to learn that on. The problem is going from JNAT to conical, and because to me they completely different systems, right? So you gotta make it click to where you start equating the dilution stage as the breakdown stage to JNAT. If you're a guy who hones a lot of numbers and needs a step progression, you're going to struggle with any natural. But I mean, I think that I've seen guys with months honing can figure it out. You know, it's a it's not a big ask, nor is it a hard task to achieve. All right. Sometimes I know, Greg, you a big user of the peanut and hone oil. Do you find that oil on your peanut will mask keenness like it does on HHT? Well, you may not do HHT anymore, but what I find, if you don't have a razor completely really good and clean, it's hard to have an accurate HHT from something oil. You know, if I want to read it off the stone, you normally we'll have to wash it in hot water and soap, and then I'll just do a quick palm drop in 2 or 3 ways to make sure or not, a palm drop with a rag in it to make sure my apex is dry, then check it on HHT. But I was always wondering if it does the same thing on a peanut because of the oil residue on the apex. All right, glad to hear that. I'm gonna do that right now. Rub my pants a little bit. Oh yeah, that is beautiful. You're a genius, Greg. I'm gonna take a little soapy water and dry it off. Well, that's all the razors I had at home today. I got 3 or 4 more, but I'll be honest with you, my back hurts. So I'm very coordinated. Got you. So if y'all want to look at the stones that I home today, this is the Olympus. Very exciting stone for me. Best stone acquisition I've had on, let's say, a new stone. I don't know. I would say since I bought my big Nakayama. I mean, I absolutely love it. Uh, See the strata, layers, stamps. This is number 14 he sold. I also have the small one, number 9. Number 9 was the first one that made it to America. Slurry stone. Get rid of this. My bench biscuits. This is the Lune, only for good suckers, only for you good owners. This is the only one that you gotta have. I don't know what makes it only for good razors, but that's what the name is. And it says extra fine right here, so it must be true. It has to be true. I wonder if I write extra fine on one of my cauticles, it would make it true. You can go ahead and get a vent stop, Sean. And this is from Matt at Griffin Shave Goods. Vintage Lune. When I seen this thing, I had to have it. Not Lune, a vintage La Viennette. I had to have it. Typical La Viennette with your small yellow layer, and it has not disappointed me. It's doing it on oil right here was a fun exercise. It cut just like I thought it would. It may be a little cut a little faster than my LPB on oil, but I really do enjoy it. This is moving up the list on my cauticles definitely. And I have a weakness for odd shaped stones. I guess I'm an odd shaped guy, so I like odd shaped stones. But I kind of dig that. I like it a lot. All right. So we got this one. We'll finish on the Lune right here. Why I got a Lune in my head? Josh, you killing me with that. Uh, I don't know why I'm blaming you, but anyway, with the Olympus. Uh, so I got in the next week. You'll probably see some talk about a new soap I got coming out. Uh, I'm gonna let the guy who I'm coordinating with on this one uh, kind of release it, and I can't share my plans right here. So I was gonna release a series of soaps inspired by different uh, content creators, and then Doug at what you call it, Adopted Acres had done a couple, so I stopped because we all talk, and I don't ever want to release something that's similar to somebody else. Like for instance, this year when Joe released, I heard he was releasing his citrus base, so I texted him. I said, "Okay, man, I'm gonna get ready to release one, but I don't want you to think I'm doing it because you're doing it, and I'm gonna hold my release for 2 weeks. That way you get yours out." That I don't ever want to step on somebody else's dick. You know what I'm saying? We all get along. We buddies. So I try to be polite. So the same thing with when he had Mully and a couple soaps that he dedicated to his friends that were content creators. So this next one is I'm gonna let my counterpart release it, not to steal his thunder, and he'll release it. But don't be surprised if I get with some of you guys and on what's your favorite scents and that. It's fun. It involves the community. It it's good for the community, and I'll still have my own releases, but that's a project I hope to work on over the next year or so as I go. But I can't tell you, Rick. He's gonna have to tell you. All right. So right now I got my first three lined up because I got to plan ahead because I got, when I make a soap, I have to buy fragrances. This is what people understand what the cost is. With the next, I'll tell you, with Sean's soap, that's the next one that's coming out. So I had to buy fragrances, mixed it, didn't like it, got rid of it. I mean, I'm hundreds of dollars in before I even release the fragrance, right? So uh, that's part of it, right? So I have to plan my business months ahead because I need to acquire fragrance, make batches, test it, smell it off the hook, before I can decide on fragrance. So, but that's part of it. Every soap artist does the same thing. It's not, I don't do nothing different from anybody else. But so if I get a hold of you, it may not be that I'm gonna make a soap next month. Like Sean, well, I've been talking to Sean about this soap for, I don't know, how long, Sean, 3 months or so. But and then the other guys, not quite that long, but uh, I appreciate it. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to put out something that stinks. I'm not going to put out something that burns the face. I'm not, I'm very particular. I'm not going to put out something that's nauseatingly strong. So if I don't like it, I ain't selling it. So that's all I got for today. I appreciate y'all joining me for my first successful live. My first one was like shit because I was in my shop and I didn't have the internet. Uh, and this one was fun. I'm gonna figure out how where I can see y'all better than on my phone next time. But I think I'm gonna have to create a second YouTube account for monitoring that, but we'll see. And then I can stalk y'all on my burner account. Hey, you two, y'all have a great Memorial Day. I'm glad you brought that up, Bill. Uh, y'all have a great time, great weekend with the family. I got grandkids that's standing by the door waiting for me to finish, poor babies. So we're gonna have some fun today. Uh, Mom and them, all the mamas went to the beach, and Papa and the sons are babysitting. So that means mayhem is gonna ensue. We're gonna tear shit up. We're gonna mud ride. We're gonna probably have too much sugar, right? Way too much ice cream. We're gonna eat when we're not supposed to. We're gonna snack. We're going to do all the things that the moms don't let them do because that's what papas are good at. Mischief. Thank y'all. See y'all later.